I learned money before I learned adulthood. At 16, with my mom's permission, I started my first business. At 19, I was working in a bank during the day and then going to school full-time at night. And since August of 2009, I've lived inside real money moments. The ones that change a room in seconds. Layoffs, inheritances, emergencies, new babies, new businesses, and sometimes grief. And here's the truth. Money is rarely just math. It's memory, identity, and pressure all at once. My name is Barry Queen, and I'm a financial advisor. And I teach people how to transform their relationship with money. Because money doesn't just live in accounts. It lives in decisions, emotions, and the stories we carry. In the next few minutes, I'll give you a simple framework to spot the pattern behind your money decisions. And one practical first step you can try this week to create a little more clarity and a little less chaos. Over the years, I've sat at kitchen tables and in conference rooms with people who looked successful and still felt one mistake away from a disaster. I've watched the same patterns show up across different incomes and different backgrounds. The overwork, the overconfidence, the never enough, the impulse relief. That's why I don't just teach tactics. I teach the operating system behind the choices. And I'm not sharing this from a pedestal. I've had seasons where I looked fine on the outside and I still carried the money stress like it was a weight. I've been the guy who tried to outwork the anxiety. I even ended up in a hospital bed, convinced something was wrong with my heart, only to be told my heart was fine, but my stress wasn't. That moment forced me to stop treating money like a spreadsheet problem and start treating it like a human problem. Quick disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only. It's not personalized investment, tax, or legal advice. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. All right. Here's the big idea for today. For a lot of people, money problems aren't information problems. They're pattern problems. You can know what to do and still not do it. You could earn more and still feel behind. You can have a plan and still self-sabotage the week you feel stressed. So let's talk about what the pattern is, where it comes from, and how to start changing it without pretending you can just discipline your way out of it. When people think about money, they usually think about numbers, income, expenses, debt, savings, investing. That's the surface layer. And yes, it matters. But underneath the numbers is the story layer. What money represents to you, what it triggers in you, and the rules you learned about it, often before you were even old enough to question them. So two people can have the same income and make very different choices, not because one is smarter, but because money means something different to each of them. For one person, spending might mean freedom. For another, spending might mean danger. For one person, saving might mean safety. For another, saving might mean deprivation. This is why the same tip does not work for everyone. A money pattern is a repeatable loop. A situation happens, you feel something, you make a decision to reduce that feeling, and later you either feel relief, regret, or both. For example, let's say you have a stressful day. You buy something, you feel relief, then you feel guilt. Or maybe you get a bonus. You promise yourself you'll save. Then you celebrate so hard, the money disappears. You know you should look at your accounts. You avoid it because it spikes anxiety. Then the anxiety grows because you're avoiding it. This isn't about judging yourself. This is about understanding your operating system. Let me give you 3 reasons money can feel hard even when you're capable and intelligent. Money is emotional. We like to pretend it's purely logical, but money touches security, identity, family, and self-worth. If the emotion is intense enough, logic becomes a passenger. Money is social. We don't make decisions in a vacuum. We compare, we perform, we try to belong. Sometimes spending isn't about even the item. It's about feeling accepted. Money is historical. Even if you don't talk about your past, your nervous system remembers what money felt like. If money was unpredictable, you may crave control. If money was tied to conflict, you may avoid conversations. If money was tied to approval, you may chase the next milestone just to feel enough. Let's do something practical right now. Grab a note on your phone or just think through it. What's a money situation that repeats for you? Not the biggest crisis, the pattern. Maybe it's impulse spending. Maybe it's avoidance. Maybe it's overworking. Maybe it's helping everyone else and then feeling resentful. What feelings show up right before the decision? Be specific. Stress, shame, fear, pressure, loneliness, or maybe you just get angry. What is the decision trying to do for you emotionally? Is it trying to calm you? Is it trying to prove something? Or is it trying to protect you from disappointment? Maybe it's trying to help you feel like you're in control. That third question is where the real gold is. Because once you understand what the decision is doing for you, you can find a healthier way to get that same need met. Now, when I say change your money pattern, I'm not saying you will never make an emotional decision again. You're human, I'm human. Emotions will always be part of the equation. The goal is something more realistic, to notice faster, to recover faster, and to make decisions that are more aligned with your values more often. Here's the first move I want you to practice this week: the pause. Before a non-essential purchase or a money avoidance moment, pause for 10 seconds. Now, 10 seconds is not a huge ask. It's just enough time to break the loop. During that pause, ask yourself a few questions. What am I feeling right now? What do I actually need right now? And what's the most responsible small step that I can take next? Notice I didn't say perfect next step. Smallest responsible next step. Because for a lot of people, perfection is the trap. Perfection creates pressure. Pressure creates avoidance or rebellion. And the pattern repeats. On the next few episodes, we're gonna get way more specific. I'm gonna break down the 6 common money patterns I see all the time, why they develop, and how to work with them. Not with hype, not with promises, but with clarity and practical tools. Now, if you want to help in identifying your pattern, I have a free educational quiz at yourmoneyyourstory.com that can help you reflect on what might be driving your decisions. And if this video helped you name something that you haven't been able to name before, subscribe. We're building a community of people who want to make money decisions with less shame and more intention. Now, on the next episode, the 6 money story types and how to find yours without putting yourself in a box. Before we end, I want to leave you with a message. If you change your story, you can change your life. I'll see you soon.